Hey everybody! Welcome to my series of videos this month learning everything I can about the 27 men who signed the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence in 1775. I grew up in North Carolina and I am so proud of my state for being the first one of all 13 original colonies to forge ahead with the spirit of freedom and create our own document, resolving to dissolve the governance of England and become a free, independent country all on our own. If you're interested in that story, I have a video that was posted yesterday about the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence. But today is the first in a series of 27 videos talking about the men who signed that document and showing you what my hometown has done to honor their memories. We're doing the list of signers in alphabetical order, and we're starting with Abraham Alexander. Today I have come to the Sugar Creek Presbyterian Church to look for the grave sites of two of the men who signed the document, brothers Abraham and Hezekiah Alexander. We've been to this church cemetery before on this channel when we visited the monument dedicated to Major Joseph Graham, a Revolutionary War hero. If you'd like to hear his story, I did a video on him last fall. Once I got to the Sugar Creek Presbyterian Church, though, I quickly realized that this plot is far too modern to contain the graves of the Alexander brothers. Looking on Google, I saw that there was another, much older burial ground across the street from the church. It's really hard to find because it has no access from the major road, and it's completely obscured by an overgrown fence and a Rite Aid. I did find the cemetery gates, but they were padlocked. And although I called the church multiple times during weekday business hours, I never got an answer from anyone on how to make an appointment to visit the grave sites personally. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to leave our flowers here at the gate and then go look at a beautiful monument dedicated to all the Mecklenburg Declaration signers only a few miles away from this cemetery. Abraham Alexander was born on December 9, 1717, probably in Cecil County, Maryland. His parents were immigrants to America from Ulster, Ireland. I have seen his father documented as Francis and his mother's name unknown, and other sources state that his parents' names were Elias and Sophia Alexander. Records from those days were either poorly documented or lost over time, and researching can be really tricky when there is so little information online and it often contradicts other sources. Abraham and his brother Hezekiah migrated to North Carolina with many other Scotch-Irish colonists, and Abraham began working as a cooper. He married a woman named Dorcas and moved to a frontier area of land known as Mecklenburg County, which was owned by the British Lord Augustus Selwyn. Many new immigrants moving into the area of Mecklenburg did not realize that Lord Augustus Selwyn already owned most of the land. Sheriffs were called out frequently to obtain deeds and money from these new settlers and received threats and promises of bodily harm if they ever returned. Abraham felt that the land should be surveyed and deeded, an opinion which caused other rural settlers to turn on him also. Undeterred, Abraham purchased lots of land in Mecklenburg, and his original home stood on the site of the present-day Charlotte Country Club. His real estate ventures helped him to acquire a nice fortune. Abraham and Hezekiah became prominent leaders in the local Scots-Irish community. In fact, the Alexander family became one of the most prolific of any in Mecklenburg County. The county of Mecklenburg was officially created in 1762, and Abraham was appointed as one of the first justices of the peace. He became an officer in the local militia, and in 1768, he was among the trustees who founded the city of Charlotte. In 1769, he was elected to the North Carolina General Assembly. He obtained a charter for Queen's College, which later became Queen's Museum, and was a forerunner of Queen's University of Charlotte as it stands today. Abraham could also be called one of the earliest environmentalists in this area. Aware of the importance of fish from the Catawba River as food, he sponsored a bill to protect this important resource. Before the American Revolution, the Scotch-Irish colonists of North Carolina were generally supportive of the British royal governors of the province, which often put them at odds with other local colonists. In 1765, Abraham Alexander was beaten by squatters while he was attempting to survey land for royal officials. In 1771, in his role as an officer of the local militia, Abraham and his militiamen responded to Governor Tryon's call for support in putting down the Regulators, which were a group of North Carolina colonists who protested against excessive taxation, corruption, and perceived injustices. Although he and his Mecklenburg men arrived too late to participate, a battle was fought between Governor Tryon and a group of backcountry farming regulators on May 16, 1771. The regulators suffered significant casualties, and the movement was ultimately crushed. However, Abraham Alexander's support for the royal governors was coming to an end in the early 1770s. Governor Josiah Martin dissolved the North Carolina Assembly in 1774, and Alexander was elected to the first North Carolina Provincial Congress in retaliation. He also became a member of the colonial legislature by 1775. When the Royalist governor attempted to oppose the colonists in their right to free speech, Abraham was elected president of an indignation meeting organized by Colonel Thomas Polk in the courthouse of Charlotte. Over the nights of May 19th and 20th, Abraham, along with his brother Hezekiah, 3 other Alexander family members, Thomas Polk, and many others, drafted the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence in the home of a man named John McNitt Alexander. I can't even imagine the bravery and fierce determination that they must have all felt to pen such a treasonous document, which predated the United States Declaration of Independence by well over a year. The Mecklenburg Declaration was followed 11 days later with another document known as the Mecklenburg Resolves, which officially denounced the allegiance to Great Britain and provided North Carolina with a republican form of government. The Resolves document was taken Paul Revere style to Philadelphia with Captain James Jack as fast as he could get it there. Abraham was in his very late 50s at the time the Revolutionary War broke out, which made him too old to actively participate in the war, although he did serve as a private, then as a sergeant, in 1780 for the Mecklenburg County Regiment under Captain Samuel Givens. He did fight at the Battle of Camden in South Carolina on August 16, 1780. He also served on the county's Committee of Safety. After the war, Abraham served as a trustee of Queens College and Liberty Hall, and also as a trustee for the establishment of Charlotte as the county seat of Mecklenburg. He also helped found the Chagall Creek Presbyterian Church, later changed to the Sugar Creek Presbyterian Church, and served there as an elder. He died on April 23, 1786, and is buried in Sugar Creek's old cemetery alongside his wife Dorcas.